Hey there, it's Jeannie with Blaha with Take a Walk with Your Angels and Joyflames.com. Okay, I get asked this question a lot. And so you are not alone if you've been thinking, why do I keep reliving my past? Why do I keep having these same so-called lessons that keep coming at me? Why do I keep repeating the same patterns all the time? Like I just keep going through this cycle of them, right? Well, as the angels and guides came in one day really strongly for a gent friend of mine who said, I've done it all. I've done it all. I've done the studying. I've done the brain stuff. I've done the reading. I've gone to therapy. I've done this. And look at me. This many years later, I'm still doing the same thing. What is going on? So, of course, I check in with his guides and his angels and I ask, what's going on, Quantum? What's happening here? So how they explained it to me was, we are always in a journey of that learning that we deem necessary for ourselves as a free-willed essential self person. So, essential self is actually your energy before you were ever anything. So what happens is until we dump off what is not us, we will continue to relive the stuff that is not us. So if that makes any sense, let me see if I can put it in a different way. What do you want to say? Okay, so what they're saying is, if you continue to hold yourself in a space of your parents' patterning, maybe you're adopted and you are following the patterns of your biological family as well as perhaps your adoptive parents, your siblings, your culture, your community, and etc. And you haven't come to that place of, when am I going to allow myself to just be me, my essential self? Not all these layers of conditions and limitation and lack and etc. And so what had come to light for this gentleman is that he could see prevalently what was coming into the patterns of his parents and watching what the things that they were doing, how they were handling things, and how much he had taken on himself to do, even if he was really not going to do it that way. So a lot of times when we're setting ourselves up to say, I'm not going to be like my mom or dad that way, or I'm not going to be like my uncle did that, or my priest or the teacher at school or whatever, I'm not going to be like that. What happens is there's so much passionate energy in that, no way, I'm not going to end up like that we start to create it again. So you got to watch where you put your passionate energy, even if it's on stuff that you're saying, I'm not going to be like that, I'm not going to act like that, I'm not going to have that. Oh my God, it's happening again. So that momentum gets going instead of focusing on what it is that you need to get rid of, dump off, clear the way, say, no more I don't have to carry that. I don't have to believe that. I don't have to think like that. And so will the patterns continue to come until we give ourselves permission to dump them off? Yes, they will. They'll keep coming in all different shapes and forms until we say, hold on. I don't have to do that like that. Even if I've got 25 voices telling me I should be on antidepressants because my whole family is, or my whole community is, or the whole world is, I don't have to. I can do it my way. I'm gonna face this stuff. I'm gonna walk right through. I'm gonna deal with the pain. I'm gonna face the fear. I'm gonna, get in there and don't make it a fight, because then everything will become a fight. Instead, have a decision in place of, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, to our earth time ideas, I am going to walk through this. I'm going to face it all. I'm going to digest it, as far as digesting it as, this is what my reality feels like to me right now. Doesn't mean dwelling on it, doesn't mean ruminating about it, it doesn't mean beating yourself up about it or holding yourself in unforgiveness or somebody else in unforgiveness. It's simply saying, I'm not going to pretend that this is okay when I feel gross. I'm not going to act like I have to be doing it this way, I should be doing it, I'm obligated to do this. I'm going to dump that all off and make way for me so that I can affect the planet in the way that I know I can, rather than being in this position of misery and dread and desperation and panic and the sense of, forget it, I don't want to be here anymore. That's what's got to be the shift, right? And that's all on all of us. We're constantly having the decisions of this, because this reality doesn't have to, but it can contain these challenges that rise up to say, how are you going to handle this? How do you want to deal with this? But if we are checking out, which is happening so prevalently right now, as far as running away from our essential selves and getting distracted, even if it's just workaholism or being, some kind of thing where you're rewarding yourself with something that checks yourself out of your reality, because you say, well, as long as I can make it through my week, I can pay my bills, blah, 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 blah. And you're living a life of, I can't stand this, but you know what, if I could just smoke that pot at the end of my day or drink all weekend, then I'll be okay and keep going. Well, sure. We can always repeat patterns however long we want to, but there might be a time while you're watching this video right now saying, I really am done. I'm done living all that way. I want to be awake to my life. I want to be alive. I don't want to be around all of this just getting by sense of things and the throwaway mentality of like, well, if I don't have to deal with it, it's not real. It doesn't, if I don't have to think about it, then I can just get through and I can get by and it's okay. And I'll just keep making my life that way. And guess what? You're going to keep bumping into yourself. Absolutely. And what happens for most people, according to those in quantum, is we start with little things of jarring ourselves awake, right? So it could be you break an arm, you get a concussion, then all of a sudden a few years later you start to get these illnesses, and they say that, if you don't do something internally, which maybe they aren't telling you that, but that's essential. If you're not doing anything about it, then we really can't do anything about it. We'll just have to do these surgeries and you'll be on these meds for the rest of your life. And then a few years later, all of a sudden it's terminal, right? It's on us to determine. Nobody out there has a say of when we're gonna die or how we're gonna die or anything like that. We are souls connected to a collective soul that our free will is going to determine what we are going to do about everything. So you can have a doctor telling you that you're done. You could make a decision today that could completely uncreate all that. So it's a very big deal to be watching how you're thinking, what are you doing with yours, because even if you're doing all the reading, you're getting the therapy, even if you think about that, I've been going to therapy for 15 years and it's not, look, I'm still where, think about that. Do you need to see a different person? Do you need to consult with somebody else? Because if you aren't feeling like you're making headway, you still have anxiety, you still have fear, you can't sleep without pills, you can't get up without pills, etc. That's when you have to start thinking, wait a minute here, what is really helping me and what isn't? So it's all on us. We can all figure it out, right? And if something is not working, consider that there's time for creating in a different direction. And as you allow that idea, like something's got to be created differently here. I got to do something about this. Even if I yield it all over and hand it to the universe and say, I'm done living like this. I'm not going to believe this way anymore. I'm not going to think this way. I am not reliving the patterns of my parents. I'm not even going to, carry forward any of the generational, hereditary stuff anymore. I'm going to be the last person. And in fact, I'm not even going to have that hereditary pattern of illness or sickness or dis-ease come to me. I'm ending it with me. And then generations after me can know that that's a possibility too. All right. Love you lots. This is Jeannie Blaha of Colorado. Take a walk with your angels. Joyclaims.com. Please feel free to share this video with anyone that you know. Thank you.